Well, no, again, each game is different. They spanked us last night, which is everyone saw. But there's a lot of things we can do better. We will do better. I thought they were clicking on all cylinders after the first quarter, and then we didn't respond in the right way. But there's some things we can do that we can correct and will.
The guys that use the word like effort and hustle, is that just the product of fatigue?
I don't know if effort and hustle, because I wouldn't say our guys weren't. I think the focus and attention to detail, understanding exactly where you should be, who should be going, and all those things were more the problem than effort and hustle. If you got to talk about effort and hustle at this time of year, like I've always said, we're in the wrong business. I don't think it was a lack of effort.
I mean, you guys have had propensity to take 4 or 5 minutes off in every game. Against this team, that's doubly deadly.
It is. You relax for a couple minutes in this game, Doug, and it's death. And
You did last night?
No, I thought we had droughts.
Yeah.
I don't know if we took possession of. We had droughts where we couldn't score. Offense led to their fast breaks, getting out in the transition. I thought that was an issue more than anything else. But again, it starts with taking care of the basketball where they can't get into their running game. That got them going, I think, toward the end of the first quarter and into the second quarter.
Dwane, you talked last night about the bench. What can you do to get? I mean, you've taken 2 guys already off your bench to put in your starting 5. What do you do to get that group?
That's the issue. We now starting 2 of our good bench guys that led that brigade with the second unit. But some things we can do with the rotation, who we can bring in, who we bring back in, and do a better job of making sure we have the right guys in combinations. And the issues we have are who do we have to guard certain players for their team.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of variables we have to work with as far as the groups we have on the court are concerned. And then there's variables that hurt us offensively. We may be good defensively, but it hurts us on the offensive end. So we got to figure that out before tomorrow night.
It looked like you guys were trying to guard LeBron straight up to start anyway. What kind of risks are there in doing that?
There's a lot of risks, and how many points they score in the paint, Michael. That's the risk. He's such a great one-on-one player. You have to pick your poison with those guys, and we cut down on the threes, but we open up another can of worms. So there's things we're going to have to do to curb that issue. With the one-on-ones and the straight-line drives. Some of the straight-line drives is just like in the summertime, you're guarding a guy one-on-one. You got to get down in the stance and understand your cushion that you can have on a guy. If you get too close, he's going to blow by you. If you're off too far, he's going to pull up. So that's another attention to detail defensively that we got to have.
Offensively, they took you out of a lot of stuff that you normally do. Did you find that frustrating to the?
Well, I don't. They were into us, and they were doing some things defensively that the key is making the next play. You got to give a team credit. They were prepared for some of the things off the first option. Now we got to make the second play, the second pass out of that play, maybe even the third pass out of that play, to make sure we punish them for what they're trying to do.
You guys missed 19 threes, I think 5 of 24. What percentage of those were looks you were happy with? I guess you got to get better at that. Right?
Well, we got to get better at that, Michael. And some of them are shots that we've made before, and some of them were tough shots. You got to give Cleveland credit. They were there on some of the shots, and some of them were just shots we missed that we've made before. So we got to make sure we get good looks at the 3. Again, we can't turn them down. Our 3-point shooters can't turn shots down out of rhythm. Just because they missed a couple, and again, you got to keep confidence in your shot and confidence in what we're trying to do.
Kyle and DeMar are not getting to the free throw line. How much of that was on them, what they did defensively, and how much was it?
Josh, that's a phenomenal number. That number, 298 games they played together. And this is the first time in the 298 games that they did not get to the free throw line. I'm not very good at math, but that's almost mathematically impossible as much as we drive and kick. So we got to continue to do that. We got to continue to go in and create contact. But out of 298 games, that's the first time our 2 All-Stars haven't gotten to the free throw line. So, but we got to continue to go in and continue to attack the paint. They're, attack through the reaching. They're a great team at reaching and trying to go for the rip. We got to play through that contact, and again, put the onus on the officials to make the correct call.
Do you make calls to the league and ask for explanations?
We go through the protocol, Jerry. We send the plays in, we send the protocol. That's all we can do.
Have they given you an explanation?
I haven't seen it yet. We just send it in today. So.
Coach, you could run a team off the line and still not give up layups if you have somebody there to meet them at the the 5-foot mark or whatever. The lack of that help, was it mistakes, or was it that they spread you out so much that it's difficult to?
More the second. They did some things to spread us out that we will correct. To try to take away our rim protection away. The issue is Channing Frye. He's not in the normal rotation spot. He's spaced out at the 3. So again, we saw that. We've made some adjustments on that to make sure we still have help there at the rim and to take away that. Because again, we've got to take away the first beast, which is their 3-point shooting. We did that, but now we got to make adjustments to make sure we have bodies on the drives.
How much zone have you played this year?
Not a lot. Why do you ask?
Is it in your back pocket?
Always.
Were you happy with the physicality? It got pretty rough in the second, third quarter.
No, physicality is playoff basketball, Chris. That has nothing to do with it. The only issue is the physical game, and our 2 guys only get to the free throw line, 0 times, and out of 298 games. And so it's a very physical game, and so that's the only thing. The physicality doesn't bother us. We like that. We've gotten adjusted to it. We've had 2 physical series with Indiana and Miami, 2 very good physical defensive teams, a lot like them. So that shouldn't affect us whatsoever.
Do you need to play these guys physically?
We should play everybody physically, Steve. There's nobody in this league in the playoffs you shouldn't play physically. I mean, that physically is getting into the ball, boxing out. Make sure you tag cutters and things like that. That's physical, not hurting somebody or knocking somebody. You don't have to do that. But you have to be physical to dictate direction, to make sure nobody's getting a free cut through the lane. All legal, clean, physical play is what we have to do. We have to do that in every series.
Dwane, you talked a lot about protecting the paint. Now, you always use the term guard your yard. How much of it comes down to on the ball being able to at least not give up straight line drives?
That's exactly it, Sherm. You've got to, it's one-on-one. You got to understand who I'm guarding, how fast he is, how close I can get and guard my yard. And that's because I don't care how many shot blockers you have, they can't get there quick enough if it's one dribble to the rim. And that was our issue yesterday. So we've got to do a better job of gauging speed, gauging distance, gauging our cushion, how close I can get to make sure we can guard our guy one-on-one. And again, they have some great one-on-one players, but we're better than what we showed last night.